It's time now with the Sports Guys. Larry's back in the house this weekend, ready to share his thoughts on some of the hottest topics we've had in a while. Why can't the Cowboys get into the end zone, especially in the first half? And is there now a better chance that Jason Garrett could be gone before the season is over?
Well, as my man Jesse says over there, who's running prompter tonight, it's all Jason Garrett's fault. Is it not, Jesse? It is all Jason Garrett. I'll tell you what, it obviously does start with Jason Garrett. For some reason, he just doesn't seem to have these guys fired up out of the gate. I mean,
dialed
they fall
in
behind to Green Bay 31-3, they lose. They fall behind to the Jets today 21-3, and they lose. And I'm going to say this as well. I think now, as brilliant as Kellen Moore is as an offensive coordinator, he is a rookie offensive coordinator in the NFL. People now see what he's running, so now he's learning on the fly, learning on the curve.
How to adjust?
Yeah, so he's got to learn how to adjust some of his calls because these guys know what's coming now, the other teams.
Keep in mind that Jason Garrett got his job because Wade Phillips was fired in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
So that possibility does exist, even though Jerry has said repeatedly and most recently on his radio show this past Monday that if you're betting on me firing him in midseason, you would lose.
You would lose, yeah. I don't see him doing it in middle season, but he's definitely on the hottest seat he's probably ever been on.
This is a must-win this Sunday against the Eagles, don't you think?
I think so,
definitely.
yeah.
All right, how did Deshaun Watson win the battle of the two best young quarterbacks in the NFL over Patrick Mahomes today?
Started up front, as you mentioned in your highlights. Texans did not allow any sacks again for the second straight game. And I'll tell you what, I don't think the gap between Patrick and Mahomes and Deshaun Watson is all that big. Nope. I think they're just about equal. Maybe one is a little more solid here at this point. But if you're building a team around one of these two quarterbacks, I don't think you can go wrong. But it all started up front. Watson had plenty of time to look down the field and survey things to see what was going on, and it paid off.
And their accuracy is so good. And that catch by Tyreek Hill was incredible on the one play. I could not believe he got that kind of a vertical leap against 4 Texan defenders. That was amazing. All right. The fighting Texas Aggies have started off their second season with a 3-3 start and just 1-2 in the SEC. Certainly, this is not what the maroon and white faithful were expecting when they paid Jimbo Fisher $75 million.
No, it's not, but I'll tell you what. The SEC, as we know, is big boy football. You have to play pretty much darn near perfect football in all 3 phases of the game, especially against the number 1, 2, 3 teams in the nation who oftentimes are from the SEC, it seems like. And for the Aggies against Alabama, they were pretty solid offensively, pretty solid defensively from the little bit that I saw. Special teams, though, really let them down. Now, let's not forget also, if I'm not mistaken, Aggies, I think, only have 6 seniors on the squad this year, so they do have some younger guys still learning. Their top 2 running backs are out, and you can't always use injuries as an excuse all season long. But I think if they could just get through the season and that brutally tough schedule, next year could really be good.
And that's just the problem. They cannot establish a rushing game. Their leading rusher, again, was Kellen Mond, and you can't rely on your quarterback always to be that guy. He's rushing for over 90 yards in that game, 16 carries. He's going to get pretty beat up. But that has to change. And I know they got a key injury on that running back squad, but still, that has to change. After Houston Rockets general manager Daryl Morey sparked a world controversy with his tweet in support of Hong Kong protesters, the NBA shut down the media's access to NBA players overseas. Doesn't this find the face Commissioner Adam Silver's support of freedom of speech?
I think it does, and that's one of China's handful of stipulations for the games to be even played still was they didn't want the players to talk to the media before the game. And I think, you know what, that is a slap in the face, and Adam Silver needs to pick a lane and stay in it. And I know there's a lot of money at stake. I understand all that, but if Adam Silver were to tell China, no, we're not doing that, we're not agreeing, okay, fine, we're not going to play these games, the NBA is not going to go broke tomorrow.
Nope.
They have a lot of money. I don't want to see the relationship with China dissolve, but if that's what happens because we're standing by our morals, then that's what happens.
And remember, the athletes are grown men. They get to decide to answer the question or not. The journalists should not be told whether or not they can ask the question. All right, for the first time, the President of the United States has called out Spurs head coach Gregg Popovich and former Spurs player Steve Kerr by name over comments, or lack thereof, about China and his administration. What do you make of this very public face-off that includes Pop's response today?
It's all part of our freedom of speech. And I'm going to say this right now just kind of more jokingly than anything else. I want to see Kerr, Pop, some dignitaries from China, President Trump. I want them to have just a Royal Rumble. Get into a ring, Royal Rumble. Let's have some fun.
Or maybe dinner would be a start. I just wish...
Royal Rumble.
I just wish that the comments... I understand everybody has a very strong opinion about certain things. I understand that. I wish they were not as vindictive sounding sometimes on everybody's level.
Yeah.
Everybody's level. And I think we can all disagree on subjects. Larry and I don't agree on everything, but we're still friends.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
I mean, you're wrong a lot of times.
Absolutely,
so.
I am. And that does it for the sports guys.
Oh, Simmons the sensei.